Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have quite a bit of credit cards here. They're covered for safety purposes. And I'm going to go over my credit cards and my current credit card churning strategy, which ones are kind of churnable, which ones are keeper card, which ones are good for different reasons. So I'm going to go over each of them and explain to you if I'm going to churn it, how I'm going to be using it, etc., and what kind of a card it is. So I hope you enjoy and welcome to today's video. And let's get started. So this is my, my credit card trends strategy. There we go. We'll call it my credit card strategy. So I have about 9 here, which is actually quite a bit more than I expected it to be. I didn't really realize I had that many. Some of them I'm going to be closing down quite soon. Actually, the 1 year has come up. Some of them I'm going to be closed, so either closing down, keeping, or I might be switching it to another one. So we're going to start off with the first one, the CIBC Aeroplan. So this one is a good card. I've had it for about 6 months now. What I really like about it is you get a free check bag. So that is a great perk to it. Other than that, fairly standard. I wouldn't say that there's anything specific about it. This is not a keeper card for me. This one is a churning card. So I shall be closing it down pretty soon and then probably reopening it up again in 6 months. So with this one, depending on the promotion, you get about 45 to 50,000 points, or like 20,000 points plus a buddy pass, which is 30,000 points. And then you can convert it into, a buddy pass can be converted into 30,000 points. So I think it's a fairly good card. I don't think it's anything specific. The annual fee does get charged after 1 year. You do get the first year free. But yeah, other than that, that is the CIBC Aeroplan card. Next up, we have the Scotiabank Passport. This is a good card, and what I really like about it is the Scotiabank Passport. Let me find it. There's also the Scotiabank Amex. And what I like is that you can combine the points together with these two. So let's say you get 30,000 points with each of them. That's 60,000 points, which you can combine together. And then on top of that, you can use this for Airbnbs very easily. And the 60,000 points converts to $600. So what you could do is you could open up both of these. You can get that 60,000 points, and then you can book, let's say, like a more expensive Airbnb, or if you're doing multiple days, and then you can use this against the value of the Airbnb. So the Scotiabank Passport and Amex I'll look at together. These cards are well worth it to always have one in your stash, and the reason being is that it's one of the only cards that has no FX fee. So that's pretty big. The Scotiabank Amex, you also get the multipliers, so kind of like 5 times the points for groceries and eating and dining out and things like that, and gas. So you do get quite a bit of multipliers. Is it first year free? Usually not. Sometimes you do get it because of a promotion. However, you also get lounge passes. And then you get about 6 lounge passes for each of them. And then you also get, with the Amex, you get Amex offers as well. So I really think that these ones are underrated. I think more people could really find it useful for either one or both of them combined, like I mentioned before. This one is actually exactly a year that I've had it, so I will be closing it down. This one I've had for about 3 or 4 months now. Really great card though to use. I love the ease of using it. Amex obviously isn't accepted everywhere, but I think these are great. I think it's not as popular as it should be. I prefer the Amex just a little bit more because of the multipliers that you get, but the no FX fee makes it worth it to always have at least one in your arsenal. So those are those two together. I'm kind of bopping all over the place. There's not really a rhyme or reason to anything. So I did CIBC, I did one of my CIBC. Let's go to my next CIBC. This is the Aventura. This one I'm not crazy about. It's fine. Like, the thing with the Aventura is that you're using their own booking system, so it's not as easy to consolidate things as opposed to like Aeroplan or maybe the Amex points. This one you have to book via Aventura, so it's not my favorite. You do get kind of the first year free, like you do with a lot of them. No lounge passes from it. Nothing specific. So this one is a Churning card, or you can PS to and from the cheaper version and then to the more expensive version if you want. So this one I'm going to be closing down soon. So that's it for my CIBC one. And then from there, let's see, what else do I have? I'll go to the BMO Eclipse. This one's different because it's vertical. Instead of having it horizontal, it's now vertical. The BMO Eclipse, or any BMO card, is worth it to keep only for one reason, and one reason only, which is essentially if you book any flight on points, and you pay for it with points and then you just have to pay the taxes. A lot of times if you put the taxes on a credit card, you're not covered for travel insurance. BMO is the exception to that. As long as you put a part of your travel itinerary on a BMO card, you're fully covered. If you compare that to other ones, like for example, the Scotia cards, if you, let's say, get a flight from like Vancouver to Seattle and you have to pay $50 in taxes, and you put that $50 in taxes on, let's say, a Scotia card, you won't be covered, because with them you need at least 75% of the value of the ticket to be on that card. With BMO, it's any value on the card and you're covered for all of it. So for that reason, the travel insurance, it's well worth it to keep a BMO card. It doesn't need to be this one. In your arsenal. So this is what I use when I do any bookings that are on points, and then I just put the taxes on here. So this one's well worth it for the travel insurance. You also get $50 a year kind of like wellness bonus, so like a $50 credit to the account. You do get the first year free as well. However, I really don't like their point system, and their minimum spend is quite high. Their minimum spend is $3,000. So it is quite high, and then their point system, you have to use it on their portal. So if you didn't have the benefit of the travel insurance, I probably would never touch BMO at all. Most of their cards do have those kind of stipulations. So the $3,000 minimum spend, which is a little bit too high for me, and then you never get great rewards points from it. So travel insurance, only reason I would keep it in this case. Next up, I have, let's go to RBC. So I just have the regular RBC rewards points. This used to be the Avion, and then I switched it to this one. So right now, due to COVID and a number of travel situations happening, I have a $250 credit on here. I might switch it to the Avion and see whether or not I can get the points. But essentially, this is no annual fee, so you can just keep it long term, which I like the idea of it, because then I'll always have an RBC file instead of opening up new files every time I apply for a credit card. So no annual fee. Yeah, this is fine. I wouldn't open up this card, but I would switch to it, let's say in the case that you have an Avion, for the same reasons I mentioned. But other than that, it's just a fine card. It doesn't do anything too much. The Avion though, which I might be getting next, I'm not sure. I like the Avion. It's kind of similar to the Scotiabank card in terms of like the booking and the points and such. So I think it's a pretty good card, and there's some good promotions coming up for it. Next up, I have TDs. I have two TD cards over here. So I have the TD Aeroplan. This is a card that I product switch to and from all the time. I'm going to keep this long term. This is my longest card possible. So the TD Aeroplan is long term. I'll use that card though to product switch, but I might just be keeping this Aeroplan for a really long time. This is where all of my bills come from, right? Like my phone bill, my insurance, things like that. It comes from this one. Pretty good card. Nothing specific. Very similar to the CIBC card as well. And then you have, so this one I'm for sure keeping. This one I'm for sure keeping. This one I'm keeping, or another BMO card. These ones I can kind of churn in and out of. The first class travel, I don't mind it. This is the one where you can essentially do book anyway, and then you can do a credit to your account. which does lose its value a bit. Or if you book on Expedia, you do get a much better deal. So you can do a lot of Expedia booking, which I like. So this one, I'll probably be product switching to and from it as well. This one, again, is great if you're doing something like Airbnb, or if you don't have enough points and you want to book it directly with the company, you can do that one as well. Okay, so those are my TD ones. And then finally, I physically have 2 American Express ones. I'll be getting one in the mail pretty soon as well. So in terms of Amex, their pros and cons are you almost never get the first year free. You pretty much always need to pay for it. And it's not widely, I guess, accepted everywhere. So you do need to be careful, like not all stores accept Amex, but they do tend to have a higher earning rate. So this is the American Express Gold, which they've just confirmed they're going to be like canceling it or changing it. So it looks like this one might be leaving. And then this is a newer card that they have. It's the American Express Choice Card. No fee for it, no annual fee for it. With American Express, just like with a lot of credit card companies, if you open up a credit card and you do multiple in one day, you still only get 1 credit hit. So I opened up this one and then I just opened up this one at the same time so I can get some extra points. Other than that, this one has a $150 annual fee. I probably won't be renewing it. I'll probably be canceling it. This one I'll probably keep long term, again, because there's no annual fee that comes with it. And then I also am awaiting the Amex Cobalt, which should be coming in hopefully today or tomorrow, because by the time I'm filming this, or let's see, I'll be going on vacation a few days and I definitely want the card before I go on vacation. But the Cobalt is a card, again, that has those additional points, the multipliers as well. And the great thing with Amex, depending on the card that you get, is that a lot of times you can either transfer the points directly to Aeroplan, or what I really like, as per kind of the RBC Avion, the First Class Travel, and the Scotiabank cards, is that you can just book directly and then credit the points to your card. I really like that. I use Airbnb a lot when I travel, or even something like if I just book a hotel, I can just put the credit on that card as well. So I really like American Express. Highly recommend that you look into it if you don't have it yet. And another great thing about it is that they do have promotional offers. So that includes things like the Shop Small offer that they currently have, where if you go to a small local store that's within their list and you spend at least $10, you will get $5 back. So it does promote shopping at more local places, local coffee shops. I've had it at coffee shops, I've had it at grocers, I've had it at like bakeries as well, restaurants. And then you have a limit of $50, which is pretty good. It's kind of a win-win situation no matter where you look at it. So all together, and this is just my cards. I have multiple players as well. I have multiple people in my family that help me out with this. So I have 2 Amex cards. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I currently have 10. Oh my goodness. And then I also have 1 more coming in the mail. So this one will be closed. This one will be closed. This one will be closed. This one I'll either closed or switched. This one I'm going to keep because I have some insurance on there and for a trip I'm taking March. So maybe next March I'll move it. This one I'll either switch out of, probably switch. This one is my long-term card. This one I'm going to be switching. This one I'll cancel at some point, and this one's my long-term card. So I have quite a few, in case you couldn't realize. And I think that something that gets underutilized is the product switch. Because a lot of times, and it definitely depends on the credit card company, a lot of times if you do a product switch, you do actually get the full bonus. So TD is a part of that. Scotiabank does vary. There's no guarantees. American Express is not a part of that. BMO is not a part of it. CIBC also might vary as well. Anyways, this is my current credit cards. That's kind of my strategy and what I'm looking to do. I hope you learned something new today. Thanks for joining. I'm going to be leaving on a trip. Yay, very exciting. So I'm kind of doing some pre-filming. So hopefully I can still have some videos up while I'm gone. But if you're still here, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in another video as well. Bye for now.